Okay, so we're going to be listening to Jimmy's character demo. He's asked me to review this, and I'm going to be stopping and starting throughout, letting you know what I notice. You may or may not agree with me, but hopefully I'll be able to give Jimmy some pointers to go away and improve upon this, if need be. We'll see.
You underworld creatures are pretty tough. Let's see what you make of this. In the name of the heavenly goddess, I call forth Kura Gitsune!
Okay, something straight away there. At the beginning,
You underworld creatures are pretty tough. Let's see what...
underworld, not quite sure what it is you're saying there. So first couple of words for me are getting lost in the mix there. That boom
See what you make of this.
is peaking.
In the name of the heavenly goddess, I call forth Kura Gitsune!
And again peaking there, or going to zero, which is a little bit unpleasant to listen to, especially in contrast to where the voice is sitting in the mix. The other thing about it is you're British, I believe, Jimmy, and your first character is in a US accent. I would advise against that. I'm not knocking your American accent, but it's just a bit odd to start off with an American accent, I think. I mean, there's 330 million Americans, so there's enough of them, and you're British, so I would definitely be starting off your character demo with a British voice.
You underworld creatures are pretty tough. Let's see what you make of this.
Yeah, character-wise, I like that. Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
I am a synthetic data-based creation, no longer imprisoned in the computers where I was once created. Your existence is limited to an ever-decomposing shell, a primitive way of life.
Okay.
I am a synthetic data-based creation, no longer imprisoned in the computers where I was once created. Your existence is limited to an ever-decomposing shell.
What I love about this is the contrast to the first piece. Yeah. There's a few technical things. Again, I know I'm being really picky here. I can hear a little bit of mouth noise. I can hear a slight plosive issue on one word. And there's a slight roticism, as in the slightly weakened R sound, which, in your own voice never matters. It's you might call it an imperfection in the voice, but it's actually a very human, natural, almost desirable characteristic of your voice. But if you're doing a virtual voice, a computer voice, which I think this is, I think it's a bit odd that a computer voice would have that roticism.
I am a synthetic data-based creation, no longer imprisoned in the computers where I was once created. Your existence is limited to an ever-decomposing shell,
Posing,
a primitive way of life. The Christmas...
So that needs to be worked on, vocally, technically.
Christmas drop is only 3 days away, and we're behind on our quota. I don't know about you, but I really could do without the big guy in red coming all the way down here to... Ah! Damn it, Ginger! What have I told you about throwing snowballs at work?
Okay, again, I really, really like the contrast coming out of this one.
And we're behind...
Coming out of the...
composing shell, a primitive way of life. The Christmas drop is only 3 days away, and we're behind on our quota. I don't know about you, but I really could do without the big guy in red coming all the way down here to... Ah! Damn it, Ginger! What have I told you about throwing snowballs at work?
Yeah, again, pretty good contrast in terms of the characters. Overall, the voice is a little bit muffled. You could definitely make some improvements in terms of how the voice is being captured, not necessarily down to the gear you're using, but probably even position on the mic. Also sounds like it's peaking on the way in around about here.
It snowballs at work!
Maybe. So watch out for that. And volume wise, both these are in quite contrast to the first piece. The other thing about this I'm noticing is the music and effects. I think you're doing a good job of this, especially as the whole point of this is it's me listening to a DIY demo. But we must remember for any demo, voice first. Voice first. Any music or effects are there to assist in the creation of atmosphere, not to create the atmosphere, on their own. And I look to establish kind of context maybe, but I feel at the moment that some of that is getting in the way and your voice is getting a bit lost. So I would look at the way in which you recorded it, and I would look at excuse me, how you've mixed those together as well, and bring the voice a little bit more forward in the mix.
Dr. Monroe, we brought the alien specimen AZ back to life! Wait, what are you doing?
I'm losing the voice there in the background. I'm having to really concentrate to hear the voice come through.
Dr. Monroe, we brought the alien specimen AZ back to life! Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? Dr. Monroe! Get help! Help us! Ah!
Again, good mix. Good characterization. I'm losing the voice in the mix though.
Allow me to accompany you, my lord. If the mainland rebellion is going to be eradicated, it would give me no greater pleasure than to watch the light leave their eyes.
Really nice choice of music there.
To accompany you. Allow me to accompany you, my lord. If the mainland rebellion is going to be eradicated, it would give me no greater pleasure than to watch the light leave.
I like the horses and the blacksmith.
Leave their eyes.
Again, I'm loving the switches between the characters. I think you could go further with that in terms of character, and you could absolutely make far better use of your position on the microphone to capture more resonance there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another heart-stopping, mind-blowing, blood-curdling, and dare I say titillating episode of Blood Drive!
Of what?
Welcome back to titillating episode of Blood Drive!
I can't tell whether that says blood drive or glub drive. So that's clarity in the mouth, also in the mix. The thing is, Jimmy, there's some really, really decent moments of editing, and you doing your own job of kind of creating that soundscape. But it would be worth getting an expert ear on that, or potentially getting a demo produced professionally. I'm really making that investment if you're serious about this. I would work on varying the placement a little bit more from character to character. I thought there's good contrast from character to character, but I think you could think more about where that voice actually sits or kind of originates physically. Watch out for the tech issues. Watch out for that peaking and the effects and music swamping the voice, and the voice sort of just getting lost and not being as forward in the mix as it really should be, because we're thinking voice first. Most of that can be solved with improved capture in the first place. What else? I would think about working with an accent coach. The American, I think you're doing a good job of it. There's a moment in there somewhere where it gets, whether the American accent kind of drops out. So I would either work with an accent coach on that, or we'll do some YouTube tutorials on it and just keep working at it. Definitely work on clarity, not just technically in terms of recording, clarity in the mouth. You want to get it to a point where it's effortless, where it just happens, and that's through your 15 minutes a day of pushing yourself and varying your warm-up routine. But overall, Jimmy, I think for a DIY demo, I think you've done a great job, and I hope that's useful.